PC Star Trek, the previous generation. Star log of a nerd, first class. Stardate, time for a dork to make extremely important life decisions. School finished. Where to next? Yeah, that's a decision that cannot be avoided no matter how much you struggle. Continue education or devote yourself to love for computers and find some job. Finances, our daily bread. First of all, how to get money. I got fed up with the parasitic life at my parents', just taking and giving nothing in return. Enough is enough. I'm going to contribute to the household budget, come what may. As far as that goes, at that time, two things related to computers were popular: making programs for video clubs, agencies, and small entrepreneurial shops. Companies were a slightly bigger bite for beginners. Or computer maintenance. Expensive, brother. Expensive! All right, I'll try both. How to pull that off? Learn a programming language that will be useful on the machine that is most popular for those purposes here. You dummy. I encouraged myself. C++ or Clipper were the law for PCs at that time, at least here. I don't know how it went abroad. Programs that can quickly process large amounts of data and issue the necessary reports. Where could it be better? And now, how to get those compilers, how to get literature, most importantly, how to get hold of a PC computer. They were not cheap at all at that time. There was no internet then, only magazines and an occasional book. Worst of all, I had no idea how to pull all that off. Nothing without a fateful touch-up. It's incredible how fate sticks its fingers into life. On a notice board in front of our famous workers' hall, an ad popped up. Learn the popular Cobol programming language for PC computers in a few months. You have a professor and computers for that. Cobol? But I wanted to try C++ or Clipper. Ah, well, let life go, I said, and went to inquire. The price is okay, 3 days of 2 hours plus 2 days of practice per week. Well, let's try. And it started. Golden times, I met many people, and the professor proved to be truly a man of knowledge and trust. After a few months, I had a certificate as an operator and programmer, many new acquaintances, and life experience. I also got a mentor. The professor took me on as an assistant for the operator course, and later for the programming one. At the same time, I began dealing with computer maintenance thanks to the knowledge and contacts I had gained. Man, how much learning and interesting events there were. That's where I met my best friend, with whom I am still on great terms today. I managed to make several commercial programs and sell them. I got independent classes. I was also the leader of a project group for making and maintaining Cobol programs for professional purposes. In short, I was everywhere, with every day completely filled, weekends included. Money was no longer a problem. Thanks to my mentor, I also found a permanent job with a private employer who ran a renowned agency for everything that was sought after and popular in our country, from bookkeeping to legal advice. Oh, how interesting it is. As I mentioned, we also started with maintaining PC computers, assembling and repairing them. Since I had already gained quite a bit of knowledge and some experience on that topic, and also knew several people who did that, I decided to try as well. My people, what beauties of working with DOS, then the early Windows systems, which ran on it, and a bit later working Windows 95 and later Windows versions. What crazy stories those were. Computer memory, graphics cards, sound cards, microprocessors, motherboards, hardware incompatibility with hardware, software problems, etc., etc., etc. All of that was as much tug of war as it was extremely interesting. But the biggest problem that I and others had was acquiring appropriate drivers, a pronounced problem before Windows 95, especially when working with DOS. Every piece of hardware requires its own driver, and there were endless incompatibilities. Works on one PC, causes problems on another, give and take, brute force variants, and everything in between. It's nice when you're young and you don't consider something like this a nuisance, but a challenge. Then there were the famous calls from customers like, "Oh no, woe is me, my life-important program disappeared." In reality, the shortcut icon to it was deleted from the desktop or moved into some folder. And then you explain all that over the phone. In most cases, because of such trifles, you were forced to run several kilometers for 10 seconds of work. Then someone gets hold of a magazine from abroad offering some ultra mega super card, and of course, I want that, you must get it for me, and you only have connections with domestic suppliers. Once I told someone who was especially persistent, if you want me to get you that hardware or a unicorn, I'd ask you what color you want the unicorn to be. Yep, who would have thought at that time that today I would remember all of this with great nostalgia, a pure example that I was smacked with a wet sock. The big finale, but as they say, youthful foolishness. I regret nothing. In fact, I'm extremely happy that I lived in that time and experienced all of this. So that's it from me for now. If you are my generation and enjoyed this story, I'm glad. If you are a new generation, I'm especially pleased that this story interested you at all. Best regards.